But yeah, I just want to say, if God has shown you his truth and made that clear to you that he is God, don't get choked up in this world. There ain't nothing to care about in this world. Like, it's all falling apart. It's turning into nothing before our very eyes. You can see it, and I mean, it's just, it ain't worth it. Like, no matter what, we know that there's something, this ain't life. I've always tried to emphasize, like, how do you call this life if there's a limit on the amount of years that you're given on this side? You know, some babies don't even, they just born into the world and go right back, you know? So it's like, you can see that this ain't the life. Of course, Yeshua is the truth in the life, but I'm just saying that you can see that this ain't it. This is just like a little testing ground. You know, you're given so much time. Some people get, you know, extra hours on a test. You know, they might have certain things set up for them when they go and they have to do a test. You know, everybody else might get 45 minutes, but the next person might need an hour and a half to do it. And then you might have those extra special people who can come in and knock it out in 10 minutes and be completed and pass the test, you know. So everyone is given a different amount of time to do what needs to be done, but that does not make this worth living for. Especially when you can see it. And, you know, I never had a question Yeshua. For me, I was blessed that he came to me as a young child. And not that I saw him or anything. I'm just saying that, you know, growing up in church and everything, I always wondered about Jesus. Like, you know, it was just always fascinating. And I couldn't have been no more than 5 or 6, because I remember just being like right below, you know, the light switch in my room. And I remember when we was in church, you would get those programs and those old picture programs or whatever. And I just remember looking and being like, you know, it was natural in me as a child to know that picture wasn't Jesus. You know what I'm saying? But it was still him in that very moment of me knowing that ain't him, but knowing he's real, that he came, not stood beside me and made his presence. I mean, I could see his face or nothing like that, but made his presence known to me as a little child that he is. And that's all he had to do. It was just let me know that he is. And he set my life up in a way where I would know and I would never depart from knowing. And I'm so thankful, because I mean, in all my screw ups, and then like him giving me this special knowledge and being scared to come out and share it with the world because it goes against what the world says, you know. But I had to learn the hard way, because it's like, you know, I'm gonna follow up in the documenting, but when you read Proverbs chapter 7, and there's some other places in there where wisdom is crying, and wisdom is the equivalent of the Holy Spirit, you know, and she's crying out to the streets and crying for men to gain wisdom and knowledge and understanding, and to come and receive of her gifts. And I understand that cry, because, you know, in my failure to do what I was supposed to do, I've lost so much. And you know, my children ain't doing what they're supposed to do. I take my fault in that. But I have a son, and I know that cry because he ain't making the right choices and he got into his trouble. And you know, I'm just steady trying to tell him to do right, even if I don't. But we have to be the example for them, because kids, they watch what adults do, and if you don't get a grasp on them soon in this world, them telling you this world will choke them up. And I just pray that God forgive me, and that hopefully standing up and doing what I was supposed to do in the first place, I know that he's gonna do above and beyond anything I could ever imagine. And so I just thank him that he kept us through all the mess we've been through, because it could have gone a whole lot worse, especially being that I ain't do what I was supposed to do. And so that's just why I want to make sure that I'm doing my best to share what he's given me. And I just pray that people find understanding and wisdom and knowledge in it, because that's what we need. In Yeshua's precious name, I pray. Shalom.